On tonight's episode of Tales from the Porch, the Bigfoot Festival come to town. Living with a foreign exchange student. I've hit the big time. And that time my Papaw went and got false teeth. So, this weekend, they had the Bigfoot Festival in Marion, and man, I think they said there's about 50,000 people there. I went out there with my wife. She makes earrings, and she was selling earrings out there. So I went out there all day. Shit, I was there from about 6:15 till they shut her down. And man, I had a good time. I met a lot of people. I always loved meeting people. I met a lot of people that knew who I was, and that was pretty cool, man. But there wasn't any keyboard warriors come through. I guess they didn't want to see sweet ninja moves right there in the middle of downtown Marion. We were sitting there, and I see this old boy out of the corner of my eye. He's pushing a stroller. And he's walking down through there and walking down the street, and all of a sudden something went kapow! And everybody started looking around, and I thought they'd busted a balloon because he was pushing some youngins, and I just figured they'd had a balloon and they'd busted it. Well, come to find out, his pistol had went off in his pocket. It grazed his leg and went to the pavement. Then where it went from there, who knows? Thank God it didn't hit nobody. But when the law got him, he had 3 pistols in his pocket. I mean, man, I can see carrying 1 pistol. That ain't too bulky, but 3 pistols, come on, man. So he was really ready for action. So about 3 months ago, Rebecca called me at work, and she said, what do you think about getting a foreign exchange student? I said, well, hell, what's another kid? We got 5. What's one more? So we picked this one out, and he was from Brazil. But something happened. He got kicked out of the program, so I guess we dodged a bullet with him. So then we had to find us another one, and we got us another one, Mario. He's from Spain. And I don't know if y'all ever hung out with Europeans much. I don't know if all Europeans are like this, but they're different people, man. He wears skinny britches all the time. And I don't see how he wears them, man. I mean, it makes me claustrophobic just looking at him. But how he wears them high water skinny britches. If my papa's to see him, it's that boy looks like he's got corn for sale. And I bet he ain't got a lick. But he'll answer to Pedro, Julio, Mario, but he won't answer to Dirty Sanchez. So I put his number in my phone as Dirty Sanchez, and we were at the Bigfoot Festival Saturday, and he called my phone, and it popped up and it said Dirty Sanchez, and I thought, who the hell is Dirty Sanchez? I don't call him back because he don't answer to it, but he'll answer to Pedro and Julio, and every now and then I can get him to answer to Poncho. But he don't answer to Dirty Sanchez. My wife got a text last night, a picture text, and there was this big tub of these cards that said, The Real Bigfoot Whisperer, and go to our YouTube channel and win cash and merchandise, and like 1 view equals 1 entry. And that girl that texted my wife, she said, I found some of your husband's stuff. Would want to get it back to him. And Rebecca said, I don't think that's his. He hadn't done a YouTube channel. Man, I'm barely proficient enough to get anything on Facebook, much less YouTube. So she sent Rebecca some pictures, and I looked at it, and I thought, man, there was a big tote. I mean, one of them big totes like you get at the Dollar General to put all your Christmas shit in. And it was full of them cards. And I don't know, I looked at it and I thought, who is that? So I went and I looked all this stuff up, and finally I figured out who it was. And it's this old girl that'd come in the shop, and if you're watching this, I know who you are. But she got my picture on there and everything. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that, but it ain't me. That ain't me on the YouTubes. I'm going to make me a YouTube channel, but that one ain't me right there. I don't know how to go about this and how to fix that. It's weird, man. I guess I've hit the big time now. I got a cyber stalker. So, but I'm going to have to fix this mess because, man, I wouldn't go in there and hijack a Bigfoot festival and try to, do mess like that. I just went down there to help my wife sell earrings and talk to people. And, well, actually, the bars were open. I went down there to drink beer, too. So I went down to the brewery and drank some beer. But I don't know, man. It was weird. It was very weird. So, my Papaw, as y'all know, he was thrifty. And my cousin Jen, she was getting married. And now, I'll preface this by telling you how bad Papaw's teeth were. He didn't brush his teeth much. Maybe once a week, maybe before he went to church. But that's about it. So, one day me and Papaw were at the house and we went over to the barn. And we come home. And Mama said, "Cordy, did you lose a tooth?" He said, "No, I don't reckon why." She said, "Well, I found this one laying on the counter." And me and him had been sitting there in the kitchen eating lunch. And he'd lost a tooth and didn't even know it. That's how bad his teeth were. So my cousin Jen was getting married, and he thought he'd go get him a set of teeth. Well, somebody had told him about this old boy in Asheville out on Haywood Road that made teeth, and he made teeth for dentists around Asheville. And he would do it for you under the table. And that was, and cash money talked, and that was Papaw's language right there. So he told me one day, he said, "You got to get home from work and take me over here to Asheville to get measured for my teeth." So I got home from work that day, and I loaded him up in the truck, and we drove over there, and you went out Haywood Road, and there was this house, and it looked like Sanford. Son, there was shit strewed everywhere in the yard. This old dude pulled up. He was nasty, man. He was dirty and his clothes were dirty. He had old nasty breeches on. And he pulled up. He was smoking a cigarette. And he told us to come on in the house. And me and Papaw, we walked up in the house. And you had to step over weed eaters. And I remember it smelled like gas because there was gas spilled on the floor. And there was a pinball machine and lawnmowers and all kinds of stuff in the house. I swear it looked like Sanford and Son. And you walk back to the kitchen, that was his laboratory. There was a bunch of teeth laying around all over the kitchen. he had a dentist chair in there, and he told Papaw to sit down in that chair. Papaw went in there, and he sat down in the chair. And that old dude, he was smoking that cigarette. He took it over to the sink and laid it on the sink and turned the cold water on. And didn't use no soap or nothing, just rinsed his hands off and turned the water off and dried them off on his pants. Which, Papaw, he's nasty too, it didn't matter. So Papaw's laying back there and he rams his finger down Papaw's mouth. He feels his gums and he's feeling all around there. And then he says, "Well, we better make us a mold." So he made this stuff up. Papaw's laying back there. And he goes to pour that old junk in his mouth to make that mold. It starts going down his throat. He started choking and gagging. So he come up from there. So we got him through that. And he said, "Be back in 3 days and I'll have your teeth made." So about 3 days later, we went back. He didn't ask no name, not nothing. You paid him cash money and it was good to go. So we went back in about 3 days. He had on the same damn clothes. And he get Papaw his teeth. So that Jen's wedding, he wore them for her wedding. And then the first time I got married, he wore them for that wedding. And I reckon that's the only time he wore them teeth. The rest of the time, he towed them on his nightstand or somewhere. Who knows where he kept them at. But I reckon that's about all the stories I got for tonight. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I talked to an old boy today. We're going to try to start recording some of these songs and putting them on the internet. We've been studying on how to do that and what we need to do to get them on there. So I talked to an old boy today about recording and mixing them and all that, and he's all for it. He said, this is how I like to do business. I said, "Well, what do you think it'd cost?" He said, I don't know. I need ball joints in my truck. Said I'd rather just do that. I'll trade you if you'll do my ball joints. I'll record your songs and mix them for you. I said, well, shit, we can do that. That's how I like to do business. But that's about it for tonight. I reckon we'll piss on the fire and call the dogs. I'll see you on the flip.